So where do we go from here? How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla and billionaire playboy, I suppose. Man's got about 9 kids, rivaling Nick Cannon for the most popular celebrity baby daddy in the US of A. But that's a different story, and I digress. He wants to rescind the deal he offered to Twitter to buy them for $44 billion. And that's not going to be as simple as it sounds. You can't just say, oh, I don't want to buy you guys anymore. The deal's off, because you got all kind of stuff going on with the SEC filings and negotiations and lawyers and contracts. It's not quite that simple. It's like saying, okay, you agreed to buy a house, you took out the loan and you signed some paperwork and all of that, but no, I don't want it no more. So that loan I had, nah, I don't need that anymore. I don't want to pay any interest on it. I don't want to do anything. I just want the whole thing to go away. It's not quite that simple. This may go to a court battle, and it may take years for this deal to be undone. Now, I'm going to explain why this is happening. And there's an article we're going to read from Fox, and I'll link to this, of course, in the description box. But I think the main thing is he got in way over his head. Maybe it was an idea. It's just me talking. I'm not saying this is exactly what happened. This is just my opinion. I believe that he saw it as a good idea, which it is a good idea for him to buy Twitter, in my humble opinion, because you see that this platform is very important to disseminate information, to regulate, control thoughts. It's very important when you're talking about American politics and also global politics. But I'm not quite sure that he thought the whole thing out all the way through, because in the beginning, it was an issue with the money. Now, Elon Musk is a billionaire, and he has, as far as net worth, much more than $44 billion. But does he have $44 billion on hand in cash? I don't think so. He had to get a group of investors to kind of join in with him to do it. So it wasn't quite as simple as, okay, I got $44 billion in my pocket. I'll give you guys that over at Twitter. I'll give the board of Twitter that particular piece of money, and then I ride off in the sunset. It's not quite that way. But I think maybe this is all part of the negotiation process. And before I go too deep into it, let's get into the article to see what they say. Am I disappointed? No, not necessarily, because I think this is just the beginning of this whole situation. It won't be as simple as Elon Musk acquires Twitter and that's it. There's going to be a whole lot of legal rigmarole and whatnot going on. But you see the headline here. Elon Musk tells Twitter he's terminating deal to buy social media giant. And the subhead says Elon Musk said that Twitter, quote, made misleading representations, unquote, when the agreement was signed. Now, I think that's referring to the user count, because I've covered this before, where he was saying that Twitter does not have as many users as they say they do. They say they have a certain amount of users, but a lot of that is spam and repetitive and inactive. So it's like, okay, how many users do you actually have? How many active users do you have? Now, this could have been the point where Elon Musk did his due diligence. You see this right here. I won't play this video again. It's on Fox, but you see this little subhead up under here. Elon Musk accepted Twitter deal without doing, quote, initial due diligence, unquote, former SEC chair. And this is Harvey Pitt. He argues that Elon Musk demanding clarity on fake accounts in order to proceed with this Twitter purchase is a negotiating ploy. I believe that's correct. He wants to get a better deal than the $44 billion. He thinks it's too high. They're overvalued. You guys don't have as many users as you say you do, so therefore I want money off. Give me a deal. Give it to me for like $30 billion rather than $44 billion. That's not the number I've heard. I've not heard any number that he wants to buy it for. I've not heard any kind of counteroffer. All that I've seen so far is that he wants to turn it a deal, but that could be part of it. And that may be what gets brought up in court. But let's continue reading. I won't read the entire thing. I'll just get some to the gist of it, and we keep on rocking. All right. A law firm representing the Tesla CEO sent a letter to Twitter on Friday alleging that it appears, quote, to have made false and misleading representations, unquote, when Musk agreed to buy the company on April 25th and has, quote, breached, unquote, multiple provisions of the initial agreement. This is just lawyer stuff. Like I said, it's going to go to court, and you'll have lawyer A fight lawyer B and their teams, and that'll be pretty much what that is, because I think that will determine the price that it ultimately gets purchased for. But we'll continue. The announcement from Musk comes after a months-long feud over how many spam and fake accounts are on Twitter, as I said, and the Tesla CEO requested that Twitter provide details supporting its internal estimate that less than 5% of the platform's account are spam or fake. Twitter CEO Parag Agrawal, I know I butchered that, and I'm sorry, Parag, said in an external review to determine the percentage of spam or fake accounts will be difficult to perform because of the, quote, critical need to use both public and private information, unquote. The company eventually agreed to hand over a, quote, firehouse, unquote, of data from over 100 million tweets that are posted every day. So I don't know how you're going to interpret that data. I guess Elon will need to have a team of people just to interpret the data to figure out what it means. You know, because you're getting all these tweets, and I'm not really sure how the data is laid out. Are they interpreting the data themselves? Do they have some kind of AI, some kind of computerized way to determine what the data actually mean? I don't really know, but we'll continue. However, in a letter sent to Twitter on Friday, Musk's lawyer alleges that Twitter has given, quote, incomplete or unusable information, unquote. Yeah, and that could be part of the whole unusable thing right there. It's like, how do you determine what this actually means? They kind of kicked me out. Let's go back to it. For nearly 2 months, adding that information regarding spam and fake accounts was critical to close the deal. For nearly 2 months, Mr. Musk has sought the data and information necessary to, quote, make an independent assessment of the prevalence of fake or spam accounts on Twitter's platform. Okay, so they're talking about the ultimate thing I'm getting here, the gist of it is that they're still fighting over how many fake accounts versus legitimate accounts there are on Twitter, because your user account would determine the actual price you get sold for. So if you are underestimating your number of real active users by 50%, that could cause the price to not necessarily drop by that same percentage, but definitely by a significant percentage. Okay, so they're saying Twitter's not giving information. Twitter's saying it is. A bunch of back and forth. That's kind of what's going on. Quote, while Twitter has provided some information, the information has come with strings attached, use limitations, or other artificial formatting features, which has rendered some of the information minimally useful to Mr. Musk and his advisors. Musk's lawyer also alleges that, quote, all indications suggest that several of Twitter's public disclosures regarding its monetizable daily active users are either false or materially misleading. Okay, so that's kind of what it is right there. All right, so here's something from Brett Taylor. I guess that's somebody that represents the board or is on the board and is also their counsel probably. Brett Taylor says the Twitter board is committed to closing the transaction on the price and terms agreed upon with Mr. Musk and plans to pursue legal action to enforce the merger agreement. We are confident we will prevail in a Delaware court of chancery. All right. So, and here's the last little bit. After hours, shares of Twitter fell by 6% following the announcement by Musk's lawyer. So interesting. I can't necessarily say I'm surprised, a little disappointed, because I thought, you're going to get somebody in there and kind of shake things up over at Twitter. And I think a lot of the employees are kind of breathing a little bit of sigh of relief. They may know that it's not over yet, that he could still acquire the company, but it's not necessarily certain anymore, because right when it first was announced, it was like, okay, this is happening and you can't do anything about it. But now it's kind of questionable. Will Elon Musk take Twitter? I mean, I can't really tell at this point. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. But if he does, my prediction, my gut tells me that it won't be quickly. It'll be over a period of time, because what's going to happen is they're going to fight in court over the price. And once they can agree upon the price, then they'll be good to go. There'll be good money. But until then, he won't just buy it for the 44 or 42 billion, whatever it is. He must buy it for a lot less and then use that to his own advantage. Maybe even incorporate Tesla, have Twitter and Tesla. I don't know what he wants to do with it. I don't know. Like I said from the beginning, I think that he had an initial good idea and acted a little bit impulsively. But the moves he's making right now do not denote an impulsive person. They denote somebody who is talking to advisors and saying, hey, what's the best way to go about this? What can I do to make this thing work the way it should work? So maybe he's not in over his head. Maybe it appears that way from the outside. But once you really think about it and look, he kind of has it under control. I mean, if you have your lawyer and everything right there, ready to go, then you're pretty much good. That should be the main thing you focus on, is just all your legal stuff, having all your ducks in a row, and you'll be good money. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How do you feel about what's happening here? Do you think that Elon Musk will terminate this deal or will he go through with it? Whatever your thoughts on that are, let me know in the comments below. The way I feel is this. I think Elon Musk will go through with it, but it's going to be a lot of negotiation. Lawyer action. It's like, look, you guys over there handle that. I want the best price for myself, for my family, whoever it is. I want the best price. If I don't need to pay $44 billion, then why would I pay $44 billion? It may not appear to be a big difference in between 42, 44, 22, 24, whatever. It's only like 20 points of difference, but that 20 is a big difference. I mean, the average person would never touch $1 million in cash in their hand at any point in time. You might make that much over a lifetime, or depending on what you do, you make that in a few years of working, a salary, getting about 125 a year. You can make that in a few years total, your cumulative. But most people will never touch that kind of money, $1 billion at once. And 1 billion is 1,000 million. So think about 42, 44 of those. The thing that most Americans will never see in their life at once, Elon has thousands of those. So it's like, well, he has the money, he has the ability to get things done, but will he actually go through with it? Does he want to get the discount? That 40 billion or whatever of discount could be a big number. Is he in over his head? Did he just kind of act without thinking on the whole Twitter deal? Whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.